HorsePlayerNow.com's Joe Christopher joining you for the final edition of the Arlington Video Blog for 2012. And as you can see, no Skype, no double box today, no Brian W. Spencer. But he has a legitimate excuse. He just moved from one place to another. And interestingly enough, the company that I hired him away from, Comcast, is to blame. They haven't installed his cable. They haven't installed his internet. He has no webcam access. Brian sends his regrets because he really wanted to do this meet and review video blog with me to talk about some of the highlights of the season. But unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond his control, he will be unable to. But I'd just like to thank Brian for another season of sensational work on his part. He is my right-hand man. Without him, we couldn't accomplish all the good things that we do at Arlington with the Learn to Win seminars, these videos, the morning line, so on and so forth. So once again, thank you to Brian W. Spencer, a rising star in the thoroughbred racing game. Let's talk about the highlights of the season. And it was a very good summer at Arlington, a lot of memorable moments. Later on in this video blog, we'll talk about some of the featured races coming up on Saturday. But first, we'll look back at the stake schedule. I'm going to start with a couple of my favorite Illinois breds, and we're going to discuss first Third Chance. What a classy filly. What classy owners she has. She won a few stakes at Arlington this season. She has been beating up on Illinois breds almost since the moment her hooves hit the racetrack at age 2. And actually, at the end of her 4-year-old campaign, she's probably never been better. Her most recent stake race, she beat the boys for fun. And after it was over, as promised, owners Ron Majors and Rokon, media celebrities in the Chicagoland area, dished out free ice cream to, I don't know, maybe 300 or 400 people that came by the John Henry statue after the race. So classy filly, classy owners, memorable Illinois bred Third Chance. Another memorable Illinois bred and my favorite stakes victory of the season for monetary reasons was when I Owe You Big Time won the Stars and Stripes at odds of almost 40 to 1. For trainer Chris Block, and interestingly enough, he came back out of that race and ran second in the inaugural running of the American St. Ledger, which was an added stake to Arlington Million Day. He lost to a classy European favorite by the name of Jackalberry. Also on the program that day, the 3 Grade 1 stakes. The Beverly D, won by I'm a Dreamer, who's incidentally going to return in the Flower Bowl this Saturday at Belmont Park. Then you had Little Mike going wire to wire in the Arlington Million. He's going to return at Belmont on Saturday as well, and the Joe Hirsch Turf Classic. So if you're a fan of those two Festival Day winners, you want to tune into Belmont on Saturday. And then, of course, congratulations to the winner of the Secretariat, probably one of the deepest 3-year-old turf stakes run all year in North America by year, beating some very classy rivals in that race, including Summer Front and Silver Max, who earlier in the season took down the Arlington Classic in scintillating gate-to-wire fashion. Also on the Arlington Stakes docket, another talented Illinois bred from the barn of Chris Block, Leading Astray. She won in exciting fashion the Pucker Up, the final graded stakes race of the season in Arlington. On to Keeneland for that meet for a couple of different potential spots. Me, personally, I like to see her run in the Queen Elizabeth II. It is a prestigious Grade 1 race for 3-year-old fillies, run on the turf in Lexington, Kentucky. We'll see how Leading Astray stacks up at Keeneland. The 2-year-old races, the Futurity, won by Patonki Kid. He was green. He won for fun. Probably going to run a Keeneland for Tom Proctor as well. It'll be interesting to see what kind of horse he can be. And then Gold Edge. Big fan of the connections here, from the breeding to trainer Lon Wiggins to the fact that she was in the winner's circle with about 50 or 60 people that absolutely loved her. I made her 4 to 1 on the morning line in the Arlington Washington Lassie off her overnight stakes victory, and she wins that race at odds of 10 to 1. Great story, great people involved with Gold Edge, so we wish her connections the best of luck as well. She is now a perfect 3 for 3 in her young career. As far as the jockeys and the trainers go, Francisco Torres, he's been around Chicago on and off basically since I started in the game, and I'm not going to tell you how long it's been, but it's been quite a while. Cisco actually precedes me, but he's in line to win his first Arlington title with 4 days left in the season. He has a 9-win lead over last year's titleist James Graham. Also, very good impressions in their first seasons at Arlington from Rosemary Homeister, Jeffrey Sanchez. Seth Martinez has ridden here before, but not for an entire meet, so all three of those very, very good to finish 3rd, 4th, and 5th in a tough Arlington jockey colony. Congratulations to Wayne Catalano, no doubt, who was the leading trainer this year. 61 wins, his 10th Arlington title. Also very special for Wayne this season. He won his 900th career race at Arlington Park, 2nd all-time at Arlington to the legendary King Richard Hazelton. Mike Stidham 2nd with 36 victories at this point. Chris Block right there with 34. Roger Brueggemann with 33. And last year's titleist, yes, he still deserves respect, Larry Rivelli rounding out the top 5 with 30 wins during the 2012 Arlington season. First owner title for Midwest Thoroughbreds. They had 25 victories on the year. William Sturritz, another good season with trainer Scott Becker with 16 victories in the Hondo Ranch, coming in 3rd. Frank and Sharon Kirby with 13 wins. Leading horses, well, by wins, 13 of them tied with 4 victories apiece. Grandma Rules, of those 13, was the only one to go a perfect 4 for 4. A couple of other horses we mentioned leading astray earlier. The Illinois bred, 4 wins and 1 second from 5 starts, including a graded stakes victory. And what about Francois? Claimed for $7,500, a 4-time winner at the meet. Charlie Bettis won a 3-year-old stake on Million Day with Francois. So congratulations to those connections for what I would consider to be the claim of the meet. Leading jockey trainer combination, they've been combining for wins at Arlington Park for quite a while. Mike Stidham and James Graham, 101 starts, 27 victories combined for the combination of Mike Stidham and the lucky charm, James Graham. A couple of races I'd like to talk about on Saturday at Arlington. Let's take a look at race number 2. We mentioned Francois. He's back in this race. He could become the first 5-time winner at the meet as he goes postward in a money allowance, 5 furlongs on turf. This horse has a victory on turf in his career from 4 lifetime starts, and it came before he got so good. He's won 3 races in a row, including the straight line going a mile on Polytrack last time out, shortening up to 5 furlongs on grass, and he's going to have to contend with Hoagie, who won a 5 furlong turf race 2 starts back. He appears to be back in top form for trainer Joel Berndt, most recently 3rd in the straight line behind Francois, but cutting back to 5 furlongs on grass, maybe Hoagie has a little bit of an advantage. Another horse to watch out for here is 1200. He's been battling 5 furlongs on grass the entire meet. He hasn't won since May the 26th, going 6 furlongs on the Polytrack, but he's been racing very well with solid company. Race number 11. Man, this is a good race. This is a 2-year-old race on turf. It's an optional claiming allowance, and I've got check marks next to 6 different horses. Jack and John broke his maiden going 2 turns on turf, as did Tell It Like It's Scott, or Tell It Like It's Coach. Tell It Like It Is Coach. Sorry, I've never been good pronouncing horse names. Tell It Like It Is Coach. We'll leave that to John G. Dooley. Also, Cool Under Fire, who hasn't won on grass yet, but he's by Giant Causeway out of a Smart Strike mare for trainer Wayne Catalano, a winner at fast, first asking going 5.5 furlongs on Poly. You'd think that he'd like to stretch out on grass based on that pedigree. No better trainer on the ground than Wayne Catalano. Other horses to look at, a couple of Illinois breds I'm very, very interested in. Smokin' Glock. This horse broke his maiden by 5 lengths at second asking by El Prado out of a Cure the Blues mare. Should run all day. Should love mowing the lawn. Also, Lasso, another horse trained by Carlos Silva, in addition to Smokin' Glock. This horse was an impressive stock and pounds victor last time out. This horse also may love the grass. His mother, I should say, Sweet Claire Bear, was a turf sprint specialist during her racing days. And Ultimate Trago, 4th last out in the Arlington, Washington Futurity behind Pataki Kid. This horse has a lot of experience with 5 races under his belt, may appreciate the stretch out to 2 turns on turf. I'd like to once again thank Arlington management for the opportunity to do all we do at Arlington during the season. Tony Petrullo, Howard Sudbury, Dave Zenner, Jessica Pacheco, Kevin Clark. The list goes on and on and on. I'd also like to thank all of you, the fans, for all of your support during the course of the season, for supporting Horse Player Now, for supporting Night School. Don't forget that Night School schedule does continue on in and through the Breeders' Cup, so visit us at horseplayernow.com. For Brian W. Spencer, who regretfully was unable to make this video due to circumstances beyond his control, I'm Joe Christofek. We look forward to seeing you at Arlington Park in 2013. Thanks a lot, everybody.